All right, so today we're going to look under the hood at something our brains do all the time. And, it feels so personal, right? Like it's just you. But really, it's this super universal human thing. We're talking about overthinking, and we're going to break down exactly how it works and, more importantly, why it works that way.
I mean, you know this feeling, right? You're lying in bed, the lights are out, it's completely silent, except it's not. Your mind is just absolutely screaming. It's like your brain decides, hey, now's the perfect time to throw a giant party for every single worry you've ever had. And it always starts so small, almost sneaky.
It might just be some tiny little thing, an offhand comment someone made this afternoon. You probably didn't even think twice about it when it happened. Or maybe it was just a look you got from a coworker. You couldn't quite figure it out. Was that a friendly look? Were they annoyed? And boom, just like that, your mind starts replaying it over and over. And then, of course, the modern classic, that unanswered text message, right? A simple delay, a few hours of silence, and suddenly it feels like this huge final verdict on your entire relationship. And just like that, in a matter of moments, your brain is off to the races.
This is what we're diving into. This quiet little trap our own mind set for us. It's that exact moment when thinking stops being a useful tool and, well, it turns into a cage. A cage built out of problems that don't even exist. So here's a really crucial point. Overthinking isn't just, thinking a lot. It's a very specific pattern. It's what happens when your brain grabs one little piece of uncertainty and without any new facts, any new evidence at all, it just spins it into this whole chain of frightening, worst-case scenarios. No new information comes in, just more and more thoughts.
Okay, now, here's the big idea. This is the part that kind of changes everything. If you've ever found yourself asking, why does my brain do this to me? Well, the answer is pretty fascinating. Your brain wasn't actually designed to make you happy. No, its number one job, the one that's been programmed into it over tens of thousands of years of evolution, is just to keep you alive. That's it. See, the humans who survived were the ones who were always on high alert, constantly scanning for danger, the ones who always assumed the worst because it kept them ready for threats. Your brain is, first and foremost, a survival machine.
And this just illustrates the problem perfectly. We're running ancient survival hardware in a modern world. Think about it. Back then, a strange sound in the bushes could literally be a saber-toothed tiger. So being a little paranoid, that was a good thing. It kept you alive. But today, that exact same threat detection system looks at an unanswered text and flags it as a massive social threat, rejection, isolation, which to our primal brain feels just as dangerous as that tiger. So, how does this actually play out? How does one tiny little moment of uncertainty spiral into this full-blown catastrophe inside our heads? Well, it's a step-by-step process, really. It's all about the stories our brain starts to tell itself.
And this is pretty much how it builds up. It starts with something so simple, so innocent, right? A little question. Why did they say that? Then, with zero evidence, your brain just leaps to a negative assumption. Maybe they're unhappy with me. That assumption really quickly hardens into a conclusion about you. I must have done something wrong. And from there, it's just a tiny little jump to a full-blown catastrophe. Everyone thinks I'm a failure. See what happened? A tiny question mark just spiraled into this huge, definitive statement about your entire worth.
And here's the really wild part. Your brain, it doesn't know the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. So as it's telling itself this crazy story, your body starts to respond as if it's all 100% real. Your heart starts beating faster, your chest feels heavy, your stomach tightens up, anxiety has officially entered the chat. All of this is happening physically inside you, even though, in reality, nothing has happened. Nothing at all. Now, this whole mental spiral, it isn't free. It comes at a huge cost. It completely drains our physical and our mental energy. Yeah, living inside your head all the time, it has a really steep price. And I love this analogy because it is just so true. It's like your mind is running this insane race. It's cycling and churning with so much effort that even if you've literally spent the entire day on the couch, you feel completely and utterly exhausted. You're mentally drained, but you haven't actually moved an inch. So it's so important to know the difference here. Healthy thinking is productive, right? It's all about finding a solution to a problem or preparing for something real. Overthinking, well, that's destructive. It's not looking for a solution at all.
It's usually looking for someone to blame, and let's be honest, that's usually us. It's not about preparing, it's just about imagining one disaster after another.
Okay, so what's the way out of this trap? The answer might actually surprise you. The goal isn't to just stop thinking. I mean, that's impossible, right? No, the goal is to change your relationship with your thoughts. This right here, this is it. This is probably the single most powerful idea you can use to break the cycle. Just because a thought pops into your head does not make it a fact. It's just a thought. Think of it as a suggestion from your super cautious, overprotective survival brain. And you know what? This applies to our feelings too. Not every feeling is an accurate signal about what's really going on. That anxiety you feel, it might feel like a warning sign, but it could just be an echo of a thought, not a signal of a real event. And that means not every single worry that pops up is a problem you have to solve right this second. Sometimes you can just notice it and let it go. When you boil it all down, overthinking really comes from this deep desire to control things we just can't. Other people's opinions, the future, how things are going to turn out. The antidote isn't trying to get more control. It's acceptance. It's accepting that some things are just uncertain and that that's actually okay. So I want to leave you with a really practical tool. The next time you feel that spiral starting up, that familiar hum of anxiety building in your mind, I want you to just pause and ask yourself one simple question.
And this question, it just cuts right through all the noise. It helps you separate what's real from the story you're telling yourself. Is this actually happening now, in this moment? Or is it just a story my survival brain is spinning about the future? Just bringing yourself back to that one distinction, that is the first and biggest step to reclaiming your peace and stepping out of the whole architecture of overthinking.